Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really zeroing in on something critical, I think, for service businesses. Especially if you're in cleaning or restoration.
Absolutely. We're talking about how search engines work, but specifically how you can use that knowledge.
Right, how they connect you with customers who are actively looking for your help right now. The goal here is to give you a real edge online, some practical takeaways.
Exactly. It's not just about, stuffing keywords onto a page anymore. It's deeper than that. It's understanding the search process and what your potential customers are actually thinking.
And we've got some great material to pull from. We looked at a podcast for cleaners and restorers that gives us a really solid foundation on search algorithms and user behavior.
Uh-huh. And then we've also got Elliot Prince's YouTube video, How I Find SEO Gold in 5 Minutes. That one's packed with really actionable stuff.
Yeah, very hands-on. So think of this as grabbing the best bits from both, trying to make sense of how you get found online without getting totally bogged down in technical terms. The big question really is, how does knowing all this search engine stuff actually, boost your visibility? And more importantly, bring in those really good customer leads.
Yeah, the right leads. Okay, so let's jump in, maybe start with the basics. How search engines actually use keywords.
Okay.
Because the first thought is often just exact matching, right? Someone types carpet cleaning, your site needs that exact phrase.
Yeah, seems logical.
But it's way more sophisticated now. Google, for instance, is trying to figure out the meaning behind the words, the user's goal.
So it's not just like a checklist. They type X, you have X.
Not really, no. The keywords are the signal, the starting point, but then the algorithm looks at so much more. Like, is the content where that keyword shows up actually good quality? Is it helpful? It also looks at how people interact with it. Do they click your link and then stick around, or do they hit the back button straight away?
So user behavior matters.
Hugely. And the overall context of the search, too. What else has the person searched for? What time is it? Where are they located? It all feeds in.
Okay, that makes sense. Google's trying to anticipate the real need.
Yeah.
So beyond just the words typed in, what are the big things Google considers for ranking? What really moves the needle?
Right. Good question. So keywords are one piece, but then you've got, well, relevance. Does your page actually answer the question or meet the need?
Okay.
Content quality. Is it comprehensive, well-written, accurate? Expertise and trustworthiness. Does Google see your site as an authority? That's EEAT, they call it.
Right. Expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness used to be EAT.
Exactly. They added experience recently. Then website usability. Is it easy to use, fast, mobile-friendly? That's huge now.
I can't be having slow sites.
Definitely not. And finally, backlinks. Are other trusted sites linking to yours? That's like a vote of confidence.
Wow. Okay. It really is a much bigger ecosystem than just throwing keywords around.
Yeah.
So we've got the search engine side. Let's flip to the user. What's this user search intent all about, and why is it so important?
Okay, yeah, this is crucial. User intent is basically the why behind the search. What's the person's goal? What problem are they trying to solve right then?
The motivation.
Precisely. And understanding that lets you give them what they need when they need it. It's about connecting on their terms.
And there are different kinds of intent, right? It's not all the same goal.
Exactly. We usually break it down into 4 main types. First is informational intent. The user just wants to learn something.
Like how to get red wine out of carpet.
Perfect example. Or what causes mold. They're looking for answers, facts, information.
Okay, that's straightforward. What's next?
Then there's navigational intent. This is when someone basically knows where they want to go online and uses Google as a quick way to get there.
Like typing Facebook login or maybe the name of a specific cleaning company they already know.
Yep, exactly. They're just using search like a bookmark, really.
Got it. Third type.
Commercial intent. This is where things get interesting for businesses. The user is researching, comparing options before they make a purchase or book a service.
So they're thinking about buying, but not quite ready yet, like searching best steam cleaner reviews or cost of professional rug cleaning.
You got it. They're in that consideration phase, evaluating options, looking for comparisons, pricing, that kind of thing.
Okay, makes sense. And the last one, the really important one.
Transactional intent. This is the golden ticket, often. The user is ready to act now. They want to buy, book, schedule, get a quote.
Like emergency water damage cleanup near me or book house cleaning service online.
Exactly. The intent is clear. They need a service and they're ready to transact. And, it's often said that these transactional searches convert much higher, sometimes double the rate of purely informational searches.
Wow, double. That really drives home why understanding intent is so valuable. So for our listeners in cleaning and restoration, knowing these different intents lets them really tailor their online presence, right?
Absolutely. It means you can create the right kind of content and target the right keywords to meet people at exactly the right stage. If someone's just looking for info, you give them a helpful blog post. If they're ready to book, you make that process super easy.
And that translates directly into better online visibility, more relevant traffic, and ultimately, yeah, those higher quality leads we talked about.
Precisely. The kind of leads that actually turn into jobs.
Okay, so how do businesses put this into action? You mentioned long tail keywords earlier. Can we dive into those a bit more? Why are they such a big deal for service businesses?
Yeah, long tail keywords are fantastic, especially for local service businesses. Instead of super broad, super competitive terms like just cleaning,
What everyone is going for.
right, long tail keywords are more specific phrases, usually 3, 4, 5 words or more. They reflect a very specific need. Think emergency flood, clean up Honolulu, or pet sitting removal service near me.
Ah, okay. Much more detailed. What's the advantage there?
Well, a few things. First, way less competition, usually. It's easier to rank for affordable upholstery cleaning in Springfield than just upholstery cleaning.
Okay, easier to get seen.
Second, the traffic you get is highly targeted. Someone searching that specific phrase knows exactly what they want.
Their intent is super clear.
Exactly, which means they're much more likely to convert, to actually call you or fill out your form.
Yeah.
If someone's searching 247 basement water extraction, they probably need help now.
That makes total sense. It's about precision. What about checking out the competition? How does that fit in?
Oh, looking at your competitors' keywords is definitely smart. You can use tools to see what terms they're ranking for. It can reveal gaps in your own strategy.
Like finding keywords they're getting business from that you hadn't even thought of.
Precisely. Or maybe you see they're ranking well for a service you also offer but haven't focused on online. It provides really valuable intel.
Okay. And how does this all tie back to the actual stuff on your website? The pages, the blog posts?
It needs to align perfectly. Your website content should map directly to those different user intents and the keywords they use.
So give me an example for, say, a restoration company.
Okay. For informational intent, signs of hidden water damage, you'd have a blog post explaining just that. Builds trust, shows expertise.
Right.
For commercial intent, compare mold remediation companies. You need detailed service pages outlining your process, your certifications, maybe testimonials. Why choose you?
Makes sense.
And for transactional intent, get free quote for fire damage restoration, you need very clear calls to action, a prominent phone number, an easy-to-use quote request form. Make it simple for them to take that next step.
It's like building pathways on your site for each type of searcher. Okay, cool. Let's pivot to Elliot Prince's 5-minute keyword mining system. Finding SEO gold in 5 minutes sounds pretty appealing. What's the main idea behind his approach?
Yeah, it's about being efficient. Right. Avoiding getting stuck. He talks about the risk of either focusing only on those massive, super hard keywords you'll likely never rank for.
The vanity keywords.
Kind of, yeah. Or the opposite problem, of going way too broad, targeting everything under the sun, and just spreading yourself too thin.
So his method is about finding that sweet spot.
Exactly. Finding keywords that have decent search volume but aren't insanely competitive, things you actually have a chance of ranking for relatively quickly, and that will bring in the right kind of visitors.
Okay, so break down the steps for us. He used SEMrush, a paid tool, but you said the concepts work elsewhere too.
That's right. The logic applies even with free tools like Google Keyword Planner or lower-cost options. Step 1. Start with a broad seed keyword. For us, maybe carpet cleaning or water damage restoration.
The main service, okay.
Step 2. Filter for exact phrase matches. You want to see searches that include your seed phrase exactly as you typed it. It narrows things down considerably.
Gets rid of some of the noise. Makes sense.
Step 3, and this is key. Filter by keyword difficulty. Elliot suggests aiming for keywords with a difficulty score under 40%.
Under 40%. Why that number?
It's a general benchmark. Below 40% often means it's, let's say, less challenging to rank for. You won't necessarily need a mountain of backlinks or years of effort. It's about finding attainable targets first.
Okay, practical. Lower difficulty. What's step 4?
Focus on those long-tail keywords again. Filter for phrases with 3 words or more. Most tools let you do this.
So combining lower difficulty with higher specificity.
Exactly. That's where you start finding those gems. Step 5 is filtering by intent. Prioritize keywords that signal commercial or transactional intent.
The ones likely to lead to business. How do you filter for intent, specifically?
Well, some advanced tools try to classify intent automatically, but you can also do it manually by looking at the search results page, the SERP for that keyword. If you see lots of ads, local service ads, map pack results, and competitor service pages, that's a strong sign of commercial or transactional intent.
Ah, okay. Look at what Google is already showing for that term. That tells you what Google thinks the intent is.
Precisely. That's the SEO gold achievable keywords with high buying intent.
Got it. He also mentioned cleaning up the results, right? Excluding irrelevant terms.
Yeah, good point. Even with filters, you might get stuff you don't want. His example was finding accountant jobs when looking for accounting clients. So for a cleaning company, you'd want to add negative keywords like jobs, DIY, salary, supplies, maybe, if you only offer the service.
Right. Fine-tuning the list to match your actual business goals. What about those middle-of-the-funnel keywords you mentioned?
Ah, yes. Those are important too. These are the searches people do when they're researching solutions but aren't ready to buy yet. Think steam cleaning versus chem dry or benefits of duct cleaning.
So answering their questions during the research phase.
Exactly. Creating content around these terms positions you as the helpful expert. It builds trust and keeps you top of mind when they are ready to book. It's about nurturing those leads.
Okay, that makes sense. Build the relationship early. Now, another way Elliot talked about finding gold was competitor analysis, specifically using a keyword gap tool. How does that work?
This is a really powerful technique. A keyword gap tool basically lets you see where your keyword rankings overlap with your competitors and, crucially, where they don't.
How do you use it?
You put in your website domain and then the domains of, say, your top 3 competitors. The tool then spits out lists of keywords.
And you're looking for?
The magic is often in the untapped section. These are keywords your competitors rank for, perhaps quite well, but that your website isn't ranking for at all.
So keywords that are clearly relevant in your market that people are searching for but you're currently missing out on.
Bingo! That's potential low-hanging fruit. You then take that untapped list and apply the same filters we just talked about. Low difficulty, commercial, or transactional intent, long tail.
Finding the easy wins your competitors are getting that you could be getting to.
That's the idea. Find those high-converting terms that are within reach.
Can you give us a quick hypothetical example? What might a cleaning business find there?
Sure. Let's say you do house cleaning. You run a gap analysis against local competitors. You might find they rank for move-out cleaning services your city, or deep cleaning cost estimate apartment, or eco-friendly maid service near me. And you don't target those specifically yet.
Gotcha. Very specific needs being met by the competition.
Right. And those terms often signal someone ready to hire. Once you find those untapped, high-intent, lower difficulty keywords, what's the action?
Create content. If you find move-out cleaning services your city is a gap, you need a page on your site dedicated to exactly that. Talk about your move-out cleaning checklist, your pricing for it in that city. Use the keyword naturally. Address the specific need head-on.
Makes perfect sense. Fill the gap you identified. Okay, final piece Elliot mentioned was looking beyond just website rankings on the SRP itself. What other opportunities are there?
Yeah, the search results page isn't just 10 blue links anymore, is it? He mentioned things like discussions and forums.
Right, like Reddit or maybe industry-specific forums if they exist for cleaning or restoration pros, places where people ask questions.
So the idea is to go there, provide genuine, helpful answers, and maybe subtly link back to a relevant resource on your site, if it makes sense.
Exactly. Don't spam, but be helpful. You can drive relevant traffic that way. He also touched on the map pack, the local results.
Oh yeah, absolutely critical for local service businesses.
Essential. Optimizing your Google business profile, getting reviews, having accurate info, consistent name and just phone number everywhere, that's non-negotiable for local visibility.
And he briefly mentioned things like top 10 lists or review sites.
Yeah, suggesting that if you offer a great service, you might be able to get featured on local best of lists or industry review sites, which often rank well themselves. It's about thinking broader than just your own domain name.
Okay, so looking at the whole picture of where a potential customer might find you online.
That's it. So pulling it all together, really understanding these algorithms, but maybe even more importantly, understanding user intent. That's the foundation.
Right. It lets service businesses like cleaners and restorers be much more strategic.
Exactly. Focusing on those specific long-tail keywords with high intent, checking out what competitors are doing successfully, and looking for all those SERP opportunities. That's how you increase visibility and get better leads.
So for everyone listening, this knowledge really is power. It helps you attract the right local customers, the people actively searching for the services you offer, right in your area.
Yeah. And maybe a final thought to leave you with is this. What specific long-tail phrases do you think your ideal customer is typing in right now when they have a problem only you can solve?
Good question to ponder.
And what's one piece of content you could create, maybe even this week, that directly answers one of those specific questions or addresses one of those urgent needs?
That's a great action item. Start thinking like your customer, explore some keyword tools, maybe peek at what your competitors are up to online. This deep dive is really just scratching the surface, isn't it?
It is. There's always more to learn about reaching your audience online effectively.
Well, thanks for diving deep with us today.